tous, donc effectivement, je m'appelle Michel Vizot. Alors juste une petite clarification, et c'est pour montrer simplement que le spatial, c'est avant tout politique. Je vais mettre sur le côté. Ah, I'm sorry. So sorry, I must have, I think I must have one or two slides in French. So anyway, just to demonstrate that it's very political, everything in space, is that I worked for 8 years to prepare a flight for animals and for myself. I was not the animal, I was supposed to go with the animals. And in 93, that means 4 years after the opening, the falling of the Berlin Wall, NASA decided to politically help Russia and to set up 10 flights of the shuttle to Mir. This was the 10th shuttle to Mir. And then they suppressed 10 flights for science. And one of that flight, some of that flights were the flight where I was supposed, nobody knows if it's possible or not, but I was supposed to fly. So it's really political. So let's go on Mars and the program at CNES. Mars is for CNES a target since a long time. Several decades, I would say. And not because CNES wants something, but because the French scientific community, which is big, large, want to go to Mars and to make science on Mars. It's a constant goal in the science review that we have every 5 years, and we will have one next year. And I would say that David, it was in 87, I think, and every 5 years we are telling that Mars is the priority for planetology, and since Paris in 2004 for exobiology. And right now, the ultimate goal of France is not to send, at least for CNES and political people in France, is not to send people there, is to retrieve samples and to have them back to Earth as soon as possible. How France can play in the game. We used to be a large, big country. We are no longer this kind of things. We are in Europe, and the big country is now Europe. And Mars missions are challenging, technically, obviously, you know that, scientifically and financially. Is France able to go to Mars or to send something to Mars alone? If this was the only thing that we want to do, it would be possible. Perhaps we could mobilize the 1 billion, 2 billion euros which are needed to send a significant mission to Mars. But we are in Europe, we are members and partners of the European Space Agency, and we are doing a lot of things, and we have to satisfy a lot of scientific communities as well as industrial policy and industrial people, companies. So we cannot go to Mars alone, and we have to go into cooperation. How large is the science community interested in Mars science in general, and planetology also? I would say is around 200 or 300 people, probably spread in around 50 laboratories across France, in different countries, interested either in atmosphere, either in planetology, either in exobiology, traces of life, either in planetary evolution, and so on and so on. How large is the French science community interested in Mars exploration, meaning to sending people there? Formally, almost none. I have to say that right now there is no scientific people proposing to go to Mars with people and to send man there. It's not science, it's exploration, and even they are ready to collaborate to this endeavor, I would say, to make some scientific studies to prepare this kind of adventure. They are not interested per se. They don't think that they will improve their science sending people there. And they are investing right now exclusively, or I would say, or mainly on Mars sample return. The French post-Martian activities. I will go quickly about that, but we have to say that we were involved in a lot of projects at various levels, big and small. The last that I recall is Mars 96. So it was a failure, unfortunately. But we were very involved and we invest a lot since, I would say, for more than 10 years, perhaps 12. I see Michel Cabane, he was involved in that, perhaps 15 years in this kind of things. And so it was a big pain when we saw that it was not going far from the Earth. We are also involved in Phobos in the Phobos 1 and 2 and so on. Then we invented Mars Premier, which was a big challenge, and we wanted to go with the US with the United States to Mars and to retrieve samples. We were very ambitious. We were supposed to make a very complex mission, you see, with the Netlanders 4 here, with something to retrieve the samples, and this was the marvelous green ray, which was able to capture the samples in orbit. So the drawing is marvelous. The reality was not so simple. And so we work a lot, and after several adventures, I would say, and episodes, it was decided by the US to stop, because we didn't have the technology. It was not because they were not happy and so on, but we didn't have, at this moment, the technologies to make this development. The ideas were widely in advance compared to the technological development. And so they stopped. So it was a very good experience, because this stimulates the laboratories. It stimulates also the thinking about planetary protection, which is a very important point that I stressed already in front of this audience. So Pathfinder, this is a US mission, and we were participating at various levels, small level, mainly in APXS, for instance, and Lionel Duston, for instance, was part of the team members, and we were involved in this story of the Mars Pathfinder, which was very interesting, and which was the beginning of the new jump, I would say, of United States to Mars. IMARS. IMARS is not a mission, it was a paper. And this was an international report which was gathering most of the international agencies to describe what could be Mars sample return mission, really. With Mars Premier, we were supposed to do everything at once. With IMARS, with some calculation and so, they decided that we need 2 or 3 missions to be able to retrieve around 300 or 500 grams of Mars sample. So, and I would say that right now is almost the basis now of all the thinking that we have about Mars sample return. 2 or 3 missions, around 500 grams that we can retrieve, and we will see with Mars 2020 that we are on this track in general. And France played a very important role with Denis Mourat, for instance, and a lot of people in this report. So, Mars Express in a European Space Agency mission, with a lot of European and with a lot of French participation, and when I speak French, when I said French, that means that CNES was supporting the people, and this is a program of CNES. So there was Spica, and Micromega, which and some others, but which is the main things and the main results were coming from Omega, not Micromega, Omega, excuse me, Omega, which was the discovering or the clays here, which we have in blue in Mars valleys. So, and you see that it's important to have several instruments, because this is a mixing of Omega, which is a spectrometer, and the high resolution camera, which was giving this elevation map. So we were also involved in Phobos Ground, quite heavily and happily, and so we did very, very fast things to go on Phobos ground. So this is just a few days before the launch. The launch went well, but it was not able to depart from the Earth orbit. And so, we lost everything, and a lot of investment, at least in the mind of people, and quite a lot also in money. So that's life, I would say. And we have to know that space activities are always risky. It's always prototype, and we have a lot of factors which can involve, and even something which is working well, and we have a lot of things which are working well, you always have the risk to fall and to have a failure. Even failure is not an option. So the present French Martian activities, this was for the past. Right now, what are we doing at CNES? So obviously, the French scientists are on a bilateral cooperation on Curiosity with, you can see here, the head of ChemCam, and you cannot see inside SAM, Sample Analysis at Mars, which is with a big part of French scientists. So ChemCam, that is well known also, and now which is operate sometimes with SAM from Toulouse, because in Toulouse now we have a control center, the FIMOC, which is controlling in balance with GPL, mainly, I would say 1 week or 1 week or one month and 1 month, depending on the period of the year, which are and this center is controlling the activities on the instrument. And this is the big new, I would say, the big step forward done by the CNES and the French scientists to be able to operate directly from Toulouse their instrument on Mars. And this is, I would say, something which is quite rewarding, because it's a good sign of confidence that the US could have in our ability to manage this kind of difficult thing. So the image of ChemCam, you will have a lot, so I don't will insist on that. I must have somewhere some results from SAM itself, so SAM Sample Analysis at Mars, and the results are published in Science recently. Were published. I don't know why it's not working. ExoMars. ExoMars is a future mission, but we are involved now. ExoMars is a mission from the European Space Agency, which is not in the mandatory program, and which is in fact a complex system with 2 missions, and I'm sure that people from ESA will speak about that a lot, and with 4 elements. I will not tell anything more, and I leave you to speak about that. On ExoMars, and taking into account the way the scientific mandatory program is dealing with instruments, the facility is provided by ESA, by the European Space Agencies, and the single instrument, the individual instrument, are proposed by consortia and paid by the national agencies. On ExoMars, right now, there are from Europe 7 instruments, in which in 4 of them, I would say, the French scientists, supported by CNES, have a significant contribution. And so we will go further. You can see the Wisdom. This is not on Mars. Huh? This is in Fontainebleau. So in ExoMars, we are involved in significantly in 5 instruments. We are principal investigators. That means that a French scientist is fully responsible of everything on 2 instruments, which are Wisdom, the ground penetrating radar, which was in Fontainebleau, and SpectroImager, which is Micromega, to make, I would say, spectra and images of the samples which were taken by the drill. And so we are PI, that means that people are responsible of everything. Then we are co-principal investigators on 3 other instruments. One is CLUPI, a kind of magnifying lens, simply to see what's, to have a close view of what is there. Then of MoMA, which is, I would say, the cousin of SAM, to simplify, gas chromatographic system, which will be in connection with gas mass spectrometer, sorry. And then we are also involved in Raman, which is a Raman spectrometer to look at the samples. So these are, I would say, among the most important system to make the analysis on Mars. Then you have also other instruments which are important for instance, PanCam, which is to look around. If you want to make samples, you have to know where you are and where you are, when you will go. But we are just scientific. We just have a scientific contribution to PanCam. So ExoMars is very important for us, and this is right now taking a lot of our energy. And you know that now, and you will know later with Olivier, that this program is conducted with the Russians, in a close cooperation with the Russians. Then, since a few days, we have, I would say, a newcomer, which is Mars 2020.
Mars what?
Mars 2020. 2020. The goal is to send Mars. This is a US mission, which is designed to look for ancient life. Yes, I forget that we are involved in a lot of missions. We are almost never leader of missions, yeah. But we are all involved. And when I say we, thanks to the scientists, they are involved in a lot of missions. And MAVEN is slated to be launched, I would say, the 18th of November. And we are involved in one instrument, you can see in SWEA, with people from the IRAP in Toulouse. So we are also involved in InSight, to look at the interior of Mars. And we are very, very deeply involved in this mission. And you can see I would say mainly 2 instruments. So here you have a meteorological station, but you have mainly the mole to make to drill, or not to drill, but to go inside Mars. And here you have the seismometer from Philippe Lognonnet, and you will have a lot of information about that during the next few days. You will be here tomorrow. So I don't speak about that. So this is just a view of the seismometer. And FORCNESS is a very, very challenging program because the project, the development time was very, very short. And you can see here, I would say, you see from 2011 up to now, you see the number of meeting reviews which are in a very, very short timing. And the launch is slated for 2016 with a delivery of the flight model at the end of 2014. That means less than 1 year. So, and we are waiting for a confirmation from NASA, not of our participation, obviously, but for all the mission. On the 14th of November, they have to check that they will be able to fit in the budget and to follow the calendar without postponing the flight.
And if they don't?
If they don't, the mission is cancelled. This is the claim right now. It never happened, but it's a discovery mission, so they decided that they have to follow, because if you postpone the launch for 2 years, it will cost around $100 million more, something like that. Time is money. In space, small time is big money. In any sense, if you go faster, it could cost a lot more. If you go slower, it costs a lot more too. So that's the real time. Huh? So this is an example, and just a very high-level schedule, but I think that it's interesting for people to look what is a schedule of development. And obviously here, you will have a lot of reviews also. It's not empty. Huh? It's not, And you have a lot of reviews for each part of the instrument, and so on and so on. So, but what is very, very important is that, and we are always waiting for that. So, Mars 2020, you see the status of the mission, right, is just drawing. And this drawing is even without energy source. You don't have here the RTG, and you don't have solar panel. So this is open. And the goal is to seek for past signs of past life. Mars 2020 is really the follow-on of Mars Science Laboratory, and this will give quite a lot of work to GPL. If not, they are not doing any longer any rovers. So it's important for GPL and for NASA. And so the US organized something which is very interesting, and then I recommend you to read the paper that they have, which is the report of the science definition team. If you type SDT, you will have a very interesting and comprehensive view of what we know on Mars right now and what they are seeking on Mars. Right, it's 200 pages almost. It's a very serious paper, but it's very interesting, and you can download very easily. And I recommend you to read that. And so Mars 2020 is just drawing. Still, you see the two moons. And the goals are classified in A, B, C, and D. And you notice, I'm sure that the Mars Society is very fond of that, that they will have a contribution of Human Exploration and Operation Mission, HOMD, and STP, and there is a room for their payloads reserved on the payload of this rover. So they defined two sets of instruments which are able to fulfill the science objectives that they have, that I listed above. And there is two levels of instruments: the baseline instrument and the complementary instrument, the threshold. The budget is defined, you see, for the instruments, 100 million for the instrument. That means that they need contribution from other countries. So the release date is very recent. You can see here, 24th of September. So because of the shutdown policy, once again, have some consequences on the development of the project. The notice of intent are due for November 4th, and the proposals are due for January the 15th. Right now, in France, at CNES, I am in charge of this program, I received 13 notices of intent. And to summarize, 4 with the instrument as a potential principal investigator, 7 instruments with large or medium scale contribution, and 2 science contribution means that you are a member of a team participating in calibration and conception and so on. I don't know if we will have the money to support 1, 2, or 3 of this proposal, and they have to be selected because they are in concurrence with other proposals, and you know that it's a very competitive process in general, but right now this process is going on. And then we will see what will happen, and the selection will be announced in April 2014 or something like that. So this is, I would say, the landscape now for Mars at CNES. Presently, CNES does not have a long-term planning for mission to Mars. That means that we don't have a self-policy to go to Mars. There is 2 reasons for that, even we would expect or would hope or dream to have one. Is first, we are a member of the European Space Agencies, and big missions have to be done, designed, and made collectively in Europe with a normal tool, which is the European Space Agency. That's a basic thing that we have, and this is a big change compared to Mars Premier, for instance, which was more or less against the European Space Agency. That's life. It happens. I'm not the guy who is deciding anything, but so we will have next year, in 2014, in March 2014, we will have in La Rochelle this science review, séminaire de prospective scientifique, which is every 5 years. And we will see if the scientific community will tell, once again, that Mars is a priority. Because the science community is not only with Martian people. You have also Venusians, you have also cosmologists, you have also a lot of people. And so we have to deal and to make a room for everybody here. And obviously the further steps also depend on the development of international cooperation. It's very simple to tell that. But I can tell something that the day when the Chinese will decide to go to the moon, a lot of people will want to go to the moon. If the Chinese decide to retrieve samples from Mars, a lot of people will decide that they have to do that also, and first if possible. And you can dream. Personally, I think that it will be almost impossible, but if the Chinese tell one day or another that they will send people on the moon, on Mars, I can tell that a lot of people will decide to go. So, in any case, Mars is still far from reach. Even at CNES, we are trying to do our best to have first science, with looking for life, looking for exobiology, achieving, I would say, scientific goals. And so this is the only thing that we want to do. And to be embedded is in this, I would say, collective endeavor or effort to go to Mars and to have answer on the evolution of the planet, seeking for life, and to have a view, if possible, on the evolution of Earth. So thank you very much.